Hello, I'm Nadine and a very warm welcome. So today we're making Pavlova. This dessert has three parts: the meringue, a sweet whipped cream, and some fruit. How good does that sound? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a traditional pavlova. I'll give you some great tips to make the perfect meringue, and stay to the end because I'm going to show you a beautiful way to present it. So I'm excited. Let's play with some meringue. So I'm going to have these dessert recipes and pretty presentation ideas every week. So please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay, so now we are going to start on the meringue. I have a few tips for you to make sure that your meringue turns out really good. So first of all, fat and meringue just do not mix. So you have to make sure that everything is super clean. So there shouldn't be any grease anywhere. So wash everything very well. And then I take some kind of acid, lemon juice or vinegar, and put some on a paper towel and just wipe everything down. Now the second thing is that always use fresh eggs. Don't use the egg whites in a box because you won't get the volume that we are looking for. And I like to separate my eggs just with clean hands. I don't like using the shell or any fancy gadgets. And I separate them when they're cold. And then what you do is just cover them and leave them so that they come up to room temperature before you start whipping them. And then the last thing is that make sure that you whip the egg whites first till they're nice and frothy before you add the sugar. Don't put everything in at once because that would not be good. Okay, let's start. The first thing that goes in is the egg whites. So usually as a rule, wherever your egg whites are, you double the sugar. So here I have about 4 egg whites. It's 120 grams, and then I have 240 grams of sugar, which is a little over a cup. But it's always better to weigh everything because in this you have to be very precise. It's not something that you can just wing. So first we put in the egg whites. Then we're going to put half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. This will just sort of stabilize the meringue. And we whip it. Okay, so when your egg whites are nice and frothy like this, we're going to gradually add the sugar. Now we will add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, and we are just gonna sift this in so that there are no lumps. This what it does is it will make your pavlova crisp on the outside and nice and marshmallowy on the inside. And at this point, you're just going to gently fold it in so that we don't lose all the air that we incorporated into the meringue. Okay, so the meringue is ready. The sugar should be dissolved, and these are the stiff peaks that you are looking for. Okay, so now we'll do something fun. So I saw Mary Berry do this from the Great British Baking Show. She's like the queen of baking. So basically a meringue has to be super stiff. So if I take some on my spatula, it should not move if I turn it upside down. So basically if this is not made well, it will fall. So let's test this out. I'm gonna put it on my head. Okay, so that's a well-made meringue, and you know that the recipe will work. Now, I am very curious to know how much faith you guys have in my baking skills. So write in the comments, yay, if you thought that it won't fall and everything is going to work out, and nay, if you thought that I would be wearing this meringue on my head. Now, I have a baking sheet here with some parchment paper, and I drew a 7-inch circle on this. This will serve as a guide for us. So what we do is we just take a little bit of meringue and stick the sheet so that it doesn't flop around in the oven. Just pile it on. And then we just smooth it out a little bit. And we will just build up the sides. And the center you want kind of concave. So you have a little bit of space to put the cream and the fruit in. So you want a little bit of dip in here. Smaller offset spatula or knife or spoon, you can just go around it and just make this design. I like these sort of wispy tops that it makes, but if you want, you can smooth them out. Just adds a little something extra. There you go. Now, the trick with Pavlova is that you put it in the oven and it has to be low and slow. So we put it at 250°F for about 10 minutes. And then we lower the oven to 215 and leave it in there for an hour and a half. And then switch the oven off, don't peek, just let it cool completely in the oven. Now we're going to make the sweet whipped cream for the topping. So I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and we'll put a tablespoon of powdered sugar in it, confectioner's sugar. It's nice to set it in. We have no lumps. Then we'll just add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and it's done. You just want soft bakes. Let's not over whip this. Okay, so this is the Pavlova we put in the oven earlier. It's all cooled down and ready. So we put some sweet cream in the center. And then we have the fruit. So it could be any fruit that's in season. This is about 3 cups of fruit. I'm using strawberries, blackberries, and some kiwi because I like the colors. There you go, I just piled on the fruit, and then if you want, you can also use some edible flowers to decorate. These I have some pansies. Just make sure that they're edible so that you don't poison the person that you're about to feed this to. It just looks so pretty. I'm just gonna add some to the plate too. That's a traditional Pavlova. Okay, so here is a great way that you can present your meringue. So all I did was, it's the same meringue recipe. I just split it into two, and with a few drops of gel food coloring, I colored it 2 shades of pink. You can use any colors you want. Once I hosted a tea party and I made it in shades of blues and purples, and it was a great hit. So this is tried and tested. Okay, so here I have an 18-inch piping bag, and I put a Wilton 1M tip on it. It's a star tip. On a baking tray with some parchment paper, we are just gonna pipe some roses. Just randomly. You don't have to connect them. Okay, and then the other shade is a lighter pink, and I have a Wilton 2D tip on this, and we're going to make a different kind of flower. If you want, you can stop here and just do these star roses all over. But if you want to step it up a notch and make it look extra pretty, you can try this too. So all I'm going to do is just pipe little flowers. So after you're done piping, this goes in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit for 10 minutes, and then lower the oven to 215, and it will take about 15 minutes, and then let it cool in the oven. Okay, so this is the piping we did earlier. They're all baked and cooled, and on the baking tray they kind of bake in pieces, so you can take them off and place them in whatever you're serving it in. I'm serving it in this clear tray so that you can see it from all sides. So for this one, what we'll do is the sweet whipped cream, I just put it in a piping bag, and we are just gonna pipe it on. So then it'll add another color dimension and will look super pretty, hopefully. Again, randomly, we're just adding the cream. So this is sort of a deconstructed pavlova. You have all three parts of it, the meringue, the cream, and the fruit, which is displayed in this pretty way. So now that the cream is done, we're going to add some fruit. I'm just kind of sticking to my pink red theme, so I'm using strawberries and raspberries, but you can do whatever color combination you like. So we'll just randomly place the fruit. Okay, now we're gonna add some flowers. These are those edible flowers again. They just sort of complete look. That's it. It's done. Look how pretty. Okay, so we have our traditional Pavlova here and this fancy pants Pavlova here. So you can try to make whichever one you like and feel comfortable with. So now let's taste. So see, you can hear tap 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 tap. It's nice and crisp on the outside and it's all soft on the inside. Look at that. Yum. This really is one of my favorite desserts. That's why I wanted to make this for my first video on YouTube. Crisp on the outside, soft on the inside, and the cream and the fruit just pair so well with it. So I hope you have fun trying these recipes. If you do make them, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your creations. The recipe will be on my website nadineali.com. So if you like this video, please subscribe. Your support will encourage me to do more. Share this with your loved ones, and till next time. My baby. Your meringue is a success. Ugh.